Understandably, the riot in the UK in the last week has caused fear and panic in the minds of immigrants and minorities in the UK. A lot of people have reached out to me to ask me whether it is now time to pack and go. After 20 something years of living in the UK, I have never experienced anything like what we witnessed in the UK in the last few days. I have seen pictures of people in South Africa and other countries attacking immigrants, xenophobia attack, but I never thought that would ever happen in the UK. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the recent attack against immigrants in the UK and whether there is likely to be another riot or attacks like this in the future. I want to know whether you have been affected by the ugly incident that we witnessed in the UK. Has this made you to change your plan about moving to the UK or remaining in the UK long term? And if you have been watching this event outside the UK, or has this changed your perception about the UK? What is your view? Even friendly countries like Canada and other countries are now warn their citizens from visiting some places in the UK. This is not something that we've heard before. You know, we never heard that countries like Canada would warn their citizens about places to visit in the UK. My name is Francis. If you see my face for the first time on this channel, we talk about legal migration, and we also talk about the things that affect immigrants on a day-to-day basis. Recent figures released by the Financial Times shows that the numbers of work immigrant coming into the UK is currently down by 76%. Also, Oxford University Migration Group has just made a projection that the numbers of people coming to work in the UK is going to significantly reduce from now to 2020 due to the fall of student numbers and workers coming to work in the UK. We know that UK universities are almost facing bankruptcy due to a significant drop in the numbers of foreign students coming to study in the UK. We are also aware that figures released shows that the loss of foreign students is going to cost the UK economy between 25 to 30 billion dollars. Before we proceed, we want to show some empathy and also just talk briefly about the events that led to the far right attack that we saw recently. So there's a young man who at the time he was arrested, he was 17, and I understand he may be 18 or close to 18 years old now. His name is Axel Rukumba. His parents originally came from Rwanda. This young man was arrested because he murdered senselessly 3 young girls. As a father of 3 young girls, those girls could have been my daughter. Any right-thinking human being should not condone the senseless killing of anyone, not to talk about children. So this young man, my personal view is that if he is found guilty and there is no link to mental health, I think that a case like this, it's right for the government to put capital punishment should be considered. Because if it's young, if a man can kill 3 innocent children, my view is that I don't think it's good. It's good for him to be locked up for the rest of his life, which is going to cost taxpayers between £25,000 a year for the government to take care of him if he's locked in prison. I think there is a good argument that a case like this, that the government should consider capital punishment. This guy is a Christian, as I understand it. He is not a Muslim. when he was arrested, you have conspiracy theorists and some politicians started creating the narrative that he came into the country by boat. That is why he came into the country last year by boat, and he went to kill this girl. So what they were trying to do, they were trying again to blame it on immigrant. Mind you, this young man that carried out this heinous crime is a full-fledged, born British citizen. Everything that he learned, I am sure he learned it on the soil of this country. He is a British citizen, not a nationalized British citizen. So the narrative was created that he is a Muslim immigrant who came into the country by boat recently. The reason this was being done is to create the narrative that Muslims and immigrants are responsible, and it is down to the failure of government policy. You have prominent politicians like Nigel Farage was trying to whip up deliberately, to whip up sentiment, to justify, to try to give the public the narrative, to incite the public that, yes, I told you, immigration and multiculturalism is bad for Britain. This is what we warn you. This is what we said is going to happen. It has already started happening now. They created divide and rule deliberately, and the social media did not even help. The social media did not even help to even counter the narrative. Before you know it, immigrants, these people went on the street. Anybody that look black or brown, they started attacking them, killing, attacking people and burning people's property. There is a case of Mohammed, a gentleman who came to the UK as a refugee. He came from Sudan with nothing. He built his life in the UK. He came with nothing in this country. His store, his businesses was set ablaze in Belfast. Shout out to people in Scotland and Wales. Those were the only two parts of the United Kingdom where there was no riot. Does that mean that these two parts of these two countries in the UK, that they are more welcoming of immigrants? I want you to start leaving your comment in the comment section. Why do you think there was riot in England and Northern Ireland, but there wasn't, no riot was reported in Scotland and Wales? We'll get into that shortly. There is also the case of the Nigerian. The Nigerian, I think is a Nigerian and Ghanaian carer. His name is Brian. Brian went to work as a carer. He was caring for vulnerable people, the people that was doing the job that most British people would not want to do. He was working only for his car to be set ablaze. This man has nothing to do with the riot. His car was set ablaze, and the man was saying, I'm wondering, asking myself, what am I doing here? We are talking about the United Kingdom in 2024. If you make sure you leave your comment in the comment section, I want to know what your views are about how the ugly incident that we have witnessed in the last few days has changed, whether it has changed your perception of the United Kingdom. Has it affected your migration plan? Are you more fearful as an immigrant? Are you worried that we will see something like this again? What is your fear? Leave your comment in the comment section. Let's keep this conversation going. Before you know what, people started targeting. Like I said before, I never thought that I would be in the United Kingdom. I have always considered myself to be part of this society. The United Kingdom has been a great host. I have always felt a sense of gratitude to this amazing country, because this country has offered me opportunities to fulfill my dream. Mind you, I came to this country with nothing. And there is this narrative that a lot of British people believe that as an immigrant, as soon as you come into the country, the government will just give you a welcome pack of thousands and you start claiming benefit. You can go and collect, apply for house. That is not true. You have to live in this country legally for more than 5 years before you can claim anything. And most immigrants are not coming to this country to claim benefit. Most immigrants are coming to this country to work. Most immigrants are coming to this country to work and contribute to the economy of this country. That is a fact. So this narrative that is being constructed, that as soon as you arrive in the UK, the government gives you a welcome pack, gives you money, you can claim benefit, it is not true. And sadly, I read an article in the newspaper yesterday. The former prime minister of this country has started inciting the public against the government to score cheap political points. So if you're wondering whether there will be another riot or something like this, I can tell you, as long as you have politicians who have large followers deliberately whipping up anti-immigrant rhetoric, I can tell you this is not going to be the last time that immigrants will be attacked openly on the street. I am telling you. Listen, the man that killed those children, as I said before, he deserved capital punishment. And if you do not understand what I mean by capital punishment, I mean he should be, instead of locking him up for costing taxpayers money, he should be life for life. That is if a man is found guilty and if there is no link to mental health, I think the government on this ground should consider capital punishment. But this man was born in Britain. He's a British citizen. He's not an immigrant. He's a British citizen. Everything he learned, I am sure he learned it on the soil of this country. So why attacking innocent immigrants for the actions of this man? Are you saying if this man was a white British, that all white British are going to be responsible for his action? No, it is not the action. The root causes of this issue, my worry is that it is not being addressed. The root causes of this issue is not being addressed. The discourses, the anti-immigration rhetoric that feed into public consciousness is not being addressed. Like I said before, there's an article in the Daily Telegraph yesterday. The former prime minister of this country was quoted, and I said that the current Labour government is not addressing public concern about immigration. Here was the same Boris Johnson, who was the prime minister of this country, where last year his government, the Conservative government, more than 760,000 people moved to the UK under his watch. But today, he is now in opposition. He's trying to whip up anti-immigration rhetoric against the current government. Mind you, I have to be transparent. I am not a member of the Labour Party. I am a fee-paying member of the Conservative Party. In fact, I will disclose it. I'm a councillorship candidate of the party in Berkshire. So I am not criticized yet. I don't have any political affiliation. I do not have any link to any political party. I am here as speaking what the people that we represent, what they are telling us. They are in fear, asking us, would there be another attack against immigrants? And as Dame Margaret Hodge, one of the Labour grandees, said this morning, the Labour Party has not made the case of the benefit of immigration to the UK. The Labour Party is scared. They are competing with Nigel Farage and those on the right. Now immigrants are being used as scapegoats. Now tell me, who is going to invest in a lawless Britain where immigrant properties are being attacked? And if people do not come to invest in Britain, who are those that will feel the impact? It is the same poor people It is the same people that rely on the government, on public services. They are the ones that are going to be affected. Why is this? That the fact that there are more 16 years old, there are more 65 years old than 16 years old in Britain today. Why is that not being told? How many British people know that this country is currently facing aging population? There are more people over the age of 65 than 16 years old. So it is fine. Let us close the door. Nobody is talking about saying the government should not close the door. But the immigrants that are living in this country should not be used as scapegoat. How many British people know that when you are applying to renew your document in this country, you have to pay NHS subcharge of 2,500 to renew your paper, even though you pay tax and national insurance? People don't know these things. People do not know these things. The fact is, the narrative have been constructed into the public's mind that as soon as you arrive in this country, you'll be given a welcome pack and you'll be given thousands. But since 2010 to date, successive conservative governments have introduced austerity. They have introduced austerity. So if people cannot get appointment with the doctors, immigrants are to blame. The council houses have been sold without replacement. Immigrants are to blame because you've been on the waiting list for 5 years. Immigrants are to blame. Failures of government policies, immigrants are now the ones that are bearing the brunt for failures of government policies. How is that fair? The United Kingdom has always been a country that prides itself on the contribution of immigrants. Without the American War or Revolutionary War, you have African soldiers, Commonwealth soldiers fought alongside the British. The First World War, Commonwealth soldiers fought alongside the British. Second World War, Commonwealth soldiers came all the way from Nigeria, Uganda, Zimbabwe, and all these countries to come and defend what was then regarded as the motherland, which is Great Britain. How many British people know these things? The narrative, the what fits into the public consciousness that, as soon as you come in as an immigrant, you're given a welcome pack, you're giving thousands of pounds, the government gives you house, say, welcome to Britain, start enjoying life. So this is what we are facing today. So the question I want to ask, how is there likely to be another riot or attack on immigrants like we saw last week? The answer is, except the government start taking certain steps to address the root causes of this problem and counter the narrative that immigrants are the ones that are responsible for all the problems that is happening in the United Kingdom, I'm afraid it is likely that we haven't seen the last of this ugly incident. Most of us have always felt at home in the United Kingdom. We have always seen ourselves as part of this society. Events in the last few days have understandably caused fear in our minds that a lot of us are starting to question, is it worth it? Is it time for us to start packing our bag? Sadly, as long as you have people like Nigel Farage and others whipping up anti-immigrant rhetorics, and you have prominent people like Boris Johnson who wants to come back and he knows that the easiest way for him to come back is to start whipping up anti-immigrant rhetoric, we are likely to be in a position where this may happen again, sadly. This is what we are seeing. It's politically convenient for immigrants to be used to score cheap political points. And this is what we are seeing today. So if anyone is watching from the Labour Party, the Labour Party is not doing enough. The Labour Party, go and read Dame Margaret Hodge's article yesterday. The Labour Party needs to do more. So if you have been affected, let me know how you have been affected. Has this affected your migration plan? Are you thinking of exits now from the UK? If you are watching from outside the UK, you have plans of coming to the UK. Let me know what your plans is. Please, you can show appreciation to this channel by giving this video a like, share this video with anyone that you know, and subscribe to this channel. We will continue to speak on behalf of people from minority community. May God bless you, and I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share it with anyone, and give this video a like.